I recently interviewed fair legend Billy Scudder, and at the conclusion of our interview, he read two of his original poems, one written the day the fair was torn down, and the other a current poem that he has just finished working on. Here's that excerpt from that March 2023 interview with Billy Scudder.
And it's the poem I wrote about Faire. Once upon a time, there was born a magical world, and I wrote it the day they tore the fair down. Or I had been messing with it, and I'd written it before, but I brought it to us all. So going out there and being humiliated by the presence Lady Face being raped the way we were raped and and slaughtered. Um, all the memories. I remember standing there the day before and watching it go down, and it was like the Holocaust. You know, watching and hearing the booze being ripped apart and thrown to the ground and scream. Main stage when they took it down was like screaming banshees. Two different monsters went on either side and grabbed a hold and just ripped it apart. It was horrible. It was horrible.
And
But
so
to
you wrote this poem?
well, I wrote this poem because I was trying to save the land, but it's on my website. But I thought it was here in this room, but it's not right now. So, you know,
If you want to take a moment to bring it up on another page while you get it, that's fine.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
This is called Pleasure, a Cosmic Current of Spirit by the Green Man. And let me just find the page that it's on. Okay. I may need glasses for this, but you won't know the difference because it's not being visually. Okay.
It's a miracle of old-fashioned radio.
Yeah. Okay. Pleasure. Once upon a time, in the midst of social chaos, there was born a moment of pleasure. It sprang from the hearts of a generation called love. It leapt, danced, and sang all the songs of spring that had laid dormant for hundreds of years. Like the phoenix resurrected from its own ashes, this pleasure spread itself over the land and filled the air with sweet music. The mother's face watched over all from atop the highest hill, while the father paraded his radiant smile from morning till night. And in the evening, when darkness filled the sky, there appeared overhead the dancing of stars, and the Lady Diana protected one and all. This pleasure appeared only when winter did wane. Then all would make ready, to chipping they came, their trades and their crafts, and their laughter they'd vary. Here under the oaks all would make merry, and when we remember all that's gone by, we stop to surrender to each lullaby. Some left for distances unknown and untried, and some souls we sowed on these hills to abide. So while we dreamed, this song of time flew to all of infinity and back again new. And through all this time, we protected this pleasure, thumbing our noses at all those who came closest to ending our home and taking our treasure. But sadly, a feeling so deadly came creeping. It wooed and seduced us to sleep by its side. It fooled us and told us this sorrow was fleeting. But pleasure knew better and saw that it lied. And so to sleep this pleasure went, while no one knew or attended it. They only knew an emptiness they filled with outside brews. The dance and the song and trades they made were paid with heavy dues. Everyone accused each other for things they knew not of, and while they sat in disarray, this pleasure cried above, do not forsake what brought us round, or let it fall from off this ground. So we ask of everyone a plea, break open your hearts, your feelings set free. Don't harbor your sadness, it's up to us all. Gather your strength and answer this call. Don't stand in the background and cry out in fear. Where is our village that proudly stood here? Where is the laughter that danced through our tears? Where are the oaks that have grown here for years? If it's sorrow you feel that I've laid all around, then know how you'll feel if this pleasure falls down. They'll hack it and drag it and blow it around. They'll bash it and mash it till nothing is found except in the hearts of all the good folks who came here to chipping under the oaks.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think that's a good place to end this interview with that poem. Unless there's something else you'd like to add, say, or
That was written in 1989, and this is the latest thing I've just finished writing, and it's just a couple of little lines, but it tells about my experience coming to Faire for the first time, and it starts with, we think with vision before we can talk with reason. I walk the path humanity seemed to be following. I would see paths that others took. I would follow these for a time. They all took me back to where I started. And then I began to realize that all these paths went nowhere. As I continued to follow others, I longed for destiny to lead me to my future. Then one day I altered my direction and found a new way of discovery. I found a way to see the world. I started to listen to my guides. I discovered the world of magic and love. I leapt through the mirror of life and found myself at the front of the line of humanity, of love and acceptance. I was at the top of a hill with a throng of people who all were cheering for love and peace. Everyone was on the same path of hope. Our quest of love will never forsake us. We will forever be the summer of love. The flames of our past is still alive within us. Never give up the call. Awaken your sleep. Never stop believing. Love is still the answer. I feel these seasons are sleeping away the time and dreaming of what will become tomorrow's awakening. I hope that we all come through this time of sleep. My lullaby is, may we all awake refreshed and renewed to yesterday's dreams fulfilled. May each one find the dream that will fill their heart's desire. May it also guide you to your life's path. Follow your love. You can't own it. You can't possess it. You can only allow it to become you. All of our lives were spent as the love generation, but now is not what was. There are those who are still on that path of love. Remember, all you need is love. Love the one you're with. Teach your children. We stopped believing that. We need to awake our common belief. Become the lighthouse. Shine your light again. Come back to love. Never give up. If you're alive, then act like it. Infinity is forever, all at once.
Well, wow. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Dad, for
I,
seeking this presence.
I think I will have a great deal of joy presenting this to people. I have
Uh,
another podcast that basically is authors reading their work, either
ah,
poetry or prose, and I think I'll
sure.
stick those on that as well as
Ah,
leaving those as additions to this. Um, I've learned a lot and I've enjoyed this a lot. And, you know, we'll be in touch, as they say in Hollywood. But
well, I would ask you to do one thing.
what's that?
Would you put a couple of fake eyes on the bill of your hat
Okay.
or sunglasses? Because every time I look up, all I see is the bill of your hat. But your smile is always there. Thank you.
Well, best of luck with your teeth, both new and old.
Yes, yes.
Uh, I think I'm a few teeth behind you in the
Ah,
progression of time and jaws.
ah.
So best of luck. And I'll probably take about a week to get this all ship shape, and I will make us sound more coherent by taking out the ums and ahs and stutters. So there'll be even a greater air of competence and professional surety as we go through the interview. How about that?
Well, I always love to say this to everyone that I have a meeting with,
Okay,
and that I love you. Thank you.
you're welcome. It's
You're
been
welcome.
my pleasure.
You're welcome.
Let me stop recording now.
All right. Bye.
Recording. Stop recording.